Hi YouTube, I'm Mike Shackelford, also known as the Wizard of Odds, and I am here in downtown Las Vegas on June the 10th, 2020. The Las Vegas casinos just opened 6 days ago. It is a early Tuesday in the evening, and I'm here to check out what's going on, see how Vegas is being safe and respecting social distancing, and I want to try to answer the question of how safe is it to return to Las Vegas right now, and what can you expect if you come down. My first stop on my visit downtown was the Golden Nugget. The first thing I noticed was that most of the slot machines were turned on. The ratio of machines to chairs was about 2 to 1. They did keep some social distancing at the tables. The blackjack size tables had 3 chairs, roulette had 4. Live poker had 5, and craps was 6 with 3 players on a side, and yes, the poker room was open. The sports book was closed, but they did honor a sports ticket of mine that expired while they were during the shutdown. They kindly honored that at the cashier, and only 2 restaurants were open, but overall the place was pretty busy and few customers were wearing masks. I might ask about 20%. So, thanks. My second stop was the Four Queens, which you see behind me. I hope you guys can hear me because it's really loud here on Fremont Street. The Four Queens was very much like it was on a normal day before the pandemic. I didn't see much in the way of social distancing at all. Almost every single slot machine was on. The ratio of chairs to slot machines I would estimate to be 3 to 2. They seem to have the same rules as the Golden Nugget about the number of players per table. I did notice a difference at the Golden Nugget. Only every other tabletop was on at the bars, whereas at the Four Queens it was every single machine. So on to the next casino. My next stop brings us to the D Casino. I am right now on this balcony on the 2nd floor, which offers a great view of the Fremont Street. And the D was really quite busy, and it didn't look much unlike it ever did before the pandemic. Yeah, it was much the same as the Four Queens. However, here they did a temperature check, unlike the Four Queens and the Golden Nugget. And the way they did it is you put your wrist right up to a sensor, and that told your temperature. And what can I say? They totally remodeled the upstairs. It looks really nice now. Yes, they still do have the derby machine. Of the 8 stations, there are 6 chairs. They have a much nicer sports book here now. Yeah, the whole upstairs is really nicely remodeled. I highly recommend checking it out. The downstairs looked much the same. I would say about a ratio of chairs to slot machines of about 2 to 1 here. The table games were busy, and they had the same restrictions of number of players that the last 2 places did. So that is my report on the D. Here's another view from the D balcony on the 2nd floor. And looking down on Fremont Street, and you can see there's an escalator right here that takes you directly up if you don't want to go through the casino. And there in the distance is the Slotzilla, and these lines, these wires here it's basically a zip line, in case you didn't know. So our next stop brings us to the El Cortez, which you see behind me, and I apologize for the terrible lighting. The El Cortez was quieter than the other casinos. I was surprised to see that many of the table games had the plexiglass dividers. Otherwise, it seemed much the same as the other properties. It looked like every single slot machine was on. The sports book was wide open. They had bets on Korean baseball, German soccer, NASCAR, MMA, and futures for lots of bets. And yeah, that's about it for the El Cortez. I think I forgot to say that over at the D, the steakhouse was open, and at the Four Queens, The Hugo's Cellar was open, Magnolia's was open, and the Chicago Brewery was open. So things are very much back to normal here in downtown Las Vegas. And I'll see you at the next casino. Our next stop brings us to Binion's. I just walked through it, and again, it was much the same as it was before the pandemic, pretty busy. It also had every single slot machine on, it seemed to be. However, only about half the chairs. Same rules for the table games. And unfortunately, the big pile of $1 million where you could get the free photo is gone. Another thing I'd like to comment on, and I'll try to show it in the video, is they have these things that look like metal detectors to get onto Fremont Street, and they say no backpacks, must be 21, and must have ID. And I have been walking through these things several times with my bag full of camera equipment, and it beeped really loudly, but no one asked me any questions. I've seen kids walking in and out of here like crazy, and the guards say nothing. No one shows an ID, so I'm not sure what's going on there. On my way here, I did pass through the Fremont, and they had one of those thermal, what are they called? Like a thermal imaging camera that could tell your temperature as you walk through the door. That's the only place I have seen one of those here on Fremont Street. I also did see that at the Wynn, by the way, before this video. And yeah, I can't think of anything else to say at this time, so I'll see you at the next stop. Bye. So these are these metal detector looking things, and yeah, I have no idea what they're accomplishing, because they're not searching bags, not checking IDs, and you see kids walking through like you're about to, right and left.
Fremont Street Experience welcomes you.
So let me summarize the evening. 1, 2, 3. Okay, to recap the evening, I will say that downtown Vegas was very much like it was before the pandemic. About the only difference is that there's fewer chairs to play slot machines, and there's only so many people allowed at the tables, as I've said before. The employees were, to their credit, wearing masks, but the tourists out here, I would say the percentage that are wearing masks is 15 to 20%. And there's hardly any effort to social distancing, and it would be really difficult to even try because it's so crowded and everybody is walking every which way as usual. So to summarize, I would say that if you're concerned about your safety, I don't think downtown is the best place to play. I think your odds of staying alive would be better on the Strip, but the Strip might be a little quieter. So there you have it. That is my trip to downtown Las Vegas 6 days after the casinos reopened here in Las Vegas. Thanks to YouTube for watching. Bye.